Live action, guys. It is Kevin here, coming to you from Shenzhen, China, on a very hot and humid Saturday morning right here. So let's see. This is where I am. Just out for a walk. It's what time is it now? 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock in the morning here in Shenzhen. Both of my kids are in Japanese school right now, Hoshuko, which is Nihonjin Hoshuko. It's a Japanese school for Japanese people. So they're in Japanese school on this Saturday. And my wife has duty today in Japanese school, so she's got a parental duty as a supervisor. For those of you wondering, I've talked to you about this before in different places, mostly on my podcast, the Just Asia podcast. But Hoshuko is Japanese class for Japanese kids who either attend international schools or have only one parent who is Japanese, and or they go to maybe like a local Chinese school and they need more Japanese in their life. So it's a formal way to study. It's run by volunteers who teach. It's very interesting. So yeah. So here I am. I decided to live stream for the first time in a very long time. Hope you're all doing well. Again, it's a gorgeous day. It's getting hot here. It's about 28 degrees centigrade right now. I realize I'm having trouble holding my gimbal right now, my DJI gimbal. I recently started doing strength training in the last several months, and last night I was working on my arms, and it hurts a lot. Oh, okay. So here's one thing. I guess I have to get used to it. I do live in southern China, but one smell that I cannot take is the smell of the fruit durian. And here is a fruit shop, and there's durian. You sell that durian right there? Man, it stinks. And whoever's in that fruit shop is chopping it up, preparing it and stuff. And yeah, that is what it is. For those who may not know, I'm moving to Malaysia with my family later on in the summer. So I'm not escaping durian. It's gonna be around. Check this out, guys. Some duckies in the window. Duckies in the window. All right. Let's keep on trucking here. Let's see. Yeah, oh, so here we go. Here's an old former COVID testing booth from the days of zero COVID. Days I still have traumatic memories about. This would have been a mobile testing area, so when we all had our required testing, we had to do our daily testing for about a year. We had to go and get COVID tests every day for a year. PCR tests, so it's a throat swab. There's a few of those still around. They're not used anymore by anyone. Yeah. So I figured I'd take you guys out on a walk. Again, show you around a beautiful Saturday morning. Here's an e-bike shop. There's lots of people getting repairs outside of the e-bike shops. I do have an e-bike. You've probably seen some videos I've made. Made some videos with my Insta360, some POV videos driving around on my e-bike. Looks like some kind of art. It's an art gallery or shop, I don't know. Here's a nice little setup here. Nice tables outside and what looks like a bar area, but it doesn't look like it's used. Interesting. All right, yeah, so back again. Just gonna go for a walk through some neighborhoods I find interesting. One of the problems with the live streaming here is that a couple of problems. Number one, where I live, there's not a lot of interesting stuff to show you guys. It's the honest truth. Who wants to see just big, tall buildings with no shops around and nothing of character? This summer, I'm going to be in Osaka. Is being able to read Chinese necessary there? Lucas asked that question. Very good question, Lucas. It would help a lot. I can read some Japanese kanji, which does help me a lot because that's more of the traditional Japanese text. You know, Chinese was simplified in the 1960s, so more people could be literate. But the traditional form, so I can read a little bit. My wife, who's Japanese, can't speak Chinese, but she can navigate a lot of the Chinese world because of her knowledge of kanji for being Japanese. So for example, one of the websites that we use, the equivalent of like Amazon in China, it's called Taobao, and she's able to navigate the apps and stuff simply because she can read enough kanji. She can navigate most things because she can read so much kanji. My kanji is not strong because I was lazy. But hold on, I'm tangled up here. But yeah, so yeah, it absolutely helps if you can read Chinese. Is it a necessity? No. I think a lot of people like me, like expats, we also rely on the charity and kindness of others. We rely on our coworkers to help us and friends to help us. So my Chinese coworkers, Chinese friends can often help me to navigate certain aspects of life and that kind of thing. So yeah. But yeah, so long answer short, absolutely helps. Alrighty, so I'm going to cross the street. There's a nice little park here. I've walked through this before. This little park. Saturday morning, lots of people out in the parks. Cars coming there. Across the road. Alrighty. So I'm going to, again, go for a walk with you guys, and then the ultimate goal is to swing around to a French chain of sporting goods shops called Decathlon, which are not in Japan, but they are around China, and they're in Malaysia. I see this. I'm going to be moving to Penang Island in Malaysia this summer, and there was a Decathlon that's just opened up there, which is great. It's a French company. Lots of great stuff. Most of it's like their own home brand stuff. Not always the best quality, but some of it's pretty good, and the prices are very reasonable. So it's worth shopping. So let's go down here. Let's go down here and check things out. So it's getting hot. It's about 30 degrees right now. This is an apartment block. A lot of shops here. You see this place with the elephant? That is a durian pizza specialty shop. So that's in many ways, I'm a pizza fan, but man, I hate durian. I hate the smell of it. But it's popular here, and durian pizza is well loved. So there you go. I guess I'm the one who's wrong. So it's called Champion Pizza. It's a durian pizza restaurant. Yeah. Hold on a second. I keep getting tangled up. I got like my gimbal here. I got like a kind of a safety strap, which I need to wear because I've got sore arms right now, so I don't want to drop it. Here you go, supermarket. All right, let's head down this way. So this is an apartment block here. Hold on, let me go up. Durian pizza. I like durian, but I don't know about pizza. Yeah, it is pretty popular here, Lucas. So a lot of apartment buildings like this, like apartment blocks, have a lot of shops and stuff on the first floor, which cater to the citizens. Over here too, you can see there's apartment blocks. Hold on. Apartment blocks there, and lots of shops. A lot of restaurants usually. People do like to eat out. Here's a dumpling place. That's the dumplings. Yeah. Alrighty. So, we have 6 weeks left of school where I work. 6 weeks left in the school year. I'm a teacher. And we've got 7 weeks left in China, my family. And so 7 weeks left in China. And then we are heading on an airplane to Japan. Been talking about a lot. If you guys who are watching this live stream, I know there's only a few of you right now, but a lot of people, YouTube has really pushes live streams in their what's the term of it? Algorithms. So live streams always get a lot more views than traditional videos. I know that. Like, so even if I put this live stream up, maybe not a lot of people get to watch it live because number one, it's unannounced, and number two, the time zone difference. Maybe not a lot of people watch it live, but within a few days, a week or two, a lot of eyeballs get on the live streams. And so just like to let you guys know, I've kind of revamped a podcast, an old podcast. You guys may be familiar with the Just Japan podcast. Did like 200 episodes of that. Well, now I have the Just Asia podcast. Essentially, it's the same thing. It's just more broad in context because, I don't live in Japan. I'll be traveling there. And now that the world is normal again, I'll be traveling there more often. But, I live in Asia. I live in China now. I'm going to be living in Malaysia. My wife's Japanese. There's always, the both feet are firmly planted here in Asia. So the Just Asia podcast, episode 8, I brought back Andrew Higgins in Japan, many-time guest on the Old Just Japan podcast. We had a great conversation. Episode 9, which I just put out a few days ago, which is doing remarkably well for a new podcast. I interviewed Riki Okanda, who is Paprika Girl on Twitter, and she's a big part of the Japan Twitter sphere. And she's an expert on kimonos and Japanese culture and lots of neat stuff. She was on. We had an amazing conversation, guys. You got to go listen to that. And even so, I'm gonna ask you, go subscribe to the podcast. Like, if you use Spotify or Amazon Music or Apple Podcasts or Overcast, whatever, it's all there. But also, I've been putting the episodes up here on the YouTube channel, and it's just audio with a thumbnail, and you can listen to it. The reason why I do that is just over the years, a lot of people have requested and said, hey, Kevin, the only way I listen to all of my content via YouTube. I even listen to my podcast via YouTube. So I put it there. But if you want to transition over to just having it on your device, all the links are below the videos where you can find it. And so go do that. Lucas. These sidewalks. I've driven on these sidewalks in different videos. Okay, so I'm going to cross this big intersection. Come up to a market area. This area here. Any space that's available in the traffic lane. Yeah. You drive everywhere you can here. This area, these big buildings are some kind of fashion mall or discount fashion mall thing. Haven't been inside, but I know for those who are into the game of geocaching, there's a geocache hidden over there. Okay, now I can cross. Big apartments over there. Let's cross the road here. Whoa, see that? You got to be careful. You have eyes coming out of the back of your head, the side of your head, under your chin, on top of your head, your neck. I think today there's a lack of kids around. I think it's a school day for children this Saturday. It's a school day for public school kids here in Shenzhen. I don't know why, but it is. Let's see here. Oh, zoom up. So that's a tout right there. You see that guy with that umbrella? So he's essentially like an e-bike taxi. You don't want to take those if you're a foreigner. You want to take these. If you're going to be ever visiting Shenzhen on business or something, you see that taxi right there? That's a taxi. Those are the blue and white taxis. Those are regulated, registered taxis to the city. They're everywhere. They're EV cars. They're metered. That's the key. They're metered. Like anywhere with the touts. And look, by the way, that's a very popular gyoza dumpling shop. People definitely eat dumplings for breakfast. Steve, awesome food in Penang. Malaysia seems to be a good bet. Oh yeah, Penang. I mean, I haven't been to Penang. I've been to KL, but we've been watching so many videos about the food, and it just looks incredible. You've got that blend of Malay culture, Indian culture, and Chinese culture, more of kind of a Cantonese type culture. Definitely. Always make sure you use a meter in a taxi. Touts will rip you off. But yeah, Malaysia, we're super excited. Going to be moving there. Malaysia's been on the bucket list for years. It's a place we wanted to live. Pre-COVID, we visited Malaysia. We went to Kuala Lumpur, and both of my kids were like, Dad, if you can ever get a job in Malaysia, please do. It's funny because my daughter, who's 9, she's going to be 10 in a couple of weeks. She's conflicted. She's like, Dad, I want to live in Malaysia, but I want to live in a place with snow. Well, dear, you can't have both of those things, clearly. So moving to Malaysia, Penang Island. Really excited to work there. It's a fantastic school with a great history. It's a much cheaper lifestyle than here. As in, when you live in one of the big tier 1 cities in China, the tier 1 cities, there's multiple tiers. The tier 1 cities are the kind of highest quality of life, the most developed. Those would be Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. I've lived in Beijing and Shenzhen, so it's super crazy expensive, guys. It's just nuts. It's insane. By the way, look at all the e-bikes. Lots of e-bikes all lined up here. I really wish I had purchased a drink somewhere before I started doing my live stream. Thirsty, but shops are not always easy to find, and I also would have to pay using my phone. It's pretty much a cashless culture, so I'd have to turn the live stream off. So I'll suffer for my art. Here's a delivery guy sorting out deliveries. Pretty common sight. Here, another delivery vehicle. These 3-wheeled battery-powered e-bikey thingies are a pretty common sight. I guess it looks like a little mom and pop convenience store. You see a lot of 7-Elevens around here and some Family Marts, some Lawson too, but this is more what to expect, more of a mom and pop shop. Okay. Lots of things to see this morning. I've picked a good route. I walked this way. A few weeks ago I went for like a 15-kilometer walk, and I walked down this street for the first time, and I thought it was kind of interesting. So, as you can see, people aren't wearing masks. Things have gone back to normal. Things have gone back to pre-COVID life. It's lovely, it's wonderful. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. I hear that when I go to Japan, even though the government has told people you don't have to wear masks, most people are still wearing masks. I just read something on Twitter that it said like 80% of people in Tokyo still choose to wear masks. So that's going to be a bit frustrating. You know, there's a woman there. Occasionally you'll see someone wearing them here. Occasionally. But as it gets hotter, it becomes less, how shall I say, less sustainable. People don't really want to do it because it's so uncomfortable and hot. I mean, it's going to be over 30 degrees today. Coat hanger store and lamps and things. There's some big shoes, guys. Look at that. There's some big shoes to fill. I'm assuming fashion shoes. There we go. Shoe shops involved. Shoe shops in this place. This place. Oh yeah, whole street of shoe shops and hat shops and different things. Another convenience store. Hope you like being sweaty if you're going to be going to Malaysia. Yeah. Well, you know, yeah, going to Malaysia, does anyone like being sweaty? I don't think so, but that's just going to be the reality, right? Going to be sweaty. I mean, like right now I'm sweating. I mean, it's 30 degrees, and with the Humidex right now, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning here. It's April 15th. It's like 30 degrees. With the Humidex, it's over 30. So, I mean, Shenzhen is subtropical. I've been here for 4 years. Moving to fully tropical. I guess it's, you get used to it. You get used to being so sweaty you don't care. There once was a time, like in 2008 when I moved from Canada to Japan, you know, moving from Ottawa, Canada in wintertime. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Lucas said yeah. So he lived in the Philippines. You've lived in the Philippines for years, so you just accept this part of life. Well, that's where I'm at now too. So when I first got to Japan back in 2008, I was really self-conscious about sweat because I wasn't so used to it. So like to have like sweat marks into my armpits, pit sweat, wet spots, wet armpits, I was so self-conscious. I felt miserable about it. I hated it. I changed my clothes like 3 times a day. I go to work with like extra clothes in my bag and always like deodorant sticks and stuff. I realized I wasn't stinky, I just sweat a lot. But what I realized at one point, it was probably as quickly as my first summer in Japan, that I looked around and everyone else was miserable too. Every businessman waiting for a train was sweaty. Oh, here we go, you gotta check this out. So they're just dragging some scrap metal down the road, middle of the road, no worries, no cares, happy as larks. What I realized was that everyone else was miserable too, and every other office worker and person commuting to work in the morning was covered in sweat stains, and they were yucky and gross, and we were all the same, and we were all in misery together. So, you know, it is what it is, right? And I know the only worries I have are that, you know, sometimes my daughter can have a little bit of trouble regulating her body heat. Sometimes she can get overheated. She's a bit prone to heat stroke. So she's going to have a bit of a struggle, I think, initially adapting to life in Malaysia, but we'll cope. We always cope. She's tough. She's amazing. Yeah, all right. So here we keep going, folks. Oh, nice. Yes, thank you. Someone just said that this video reminds them of my morning runs back in Japan, back in the day, 2011. Yeah, when I used to run, before my knee kind of exploded. My knee isn't, I've got issues with my knee. I used to have issues with my right knee. Now I've got issues with my left knee. A sign of getting older, I suppose. So I'm not really running like I used to, but I am going to the gym 6 days a week or so, lifting weights 5 days a week, 4 days a week, and then doing other cardio at the gym. It's not as fun as being outside. So today, now mind you, I'm going slow because I'm doing a live stream, but I try to walk too. I normally walk between 20 to 25,000 steps a day. On the weekends, I attempt to get to 30. Normally doesn't happen, but I can get pretty close sometimes. So yeah, look at all these e-bikes, right? They're everywhere. E-bikes. So it's definitely, it would appear to be a regular working business day. Krill oil helps the knees if you're not allergic. Okay, I'm not sure what krill oil is. I'll have to look into that. I've been doing the bodyweight core exercises on Netflix. Yeah, as far as like core goes, so what I've been doing is I've just gotten really into strength training. So I'm really into so I'm just really having a lot of fun lifting weights. It's been really cool getting stronger. But what's neat is like my son Kai, who's going to be 13 this summer, he fell in love with boxing this year. So he's been interested in boxing for years because I used to talk about how when I was a teenager I boxed in Canada, and I did. I was in a boxing club in Canada, and it was great for my self-esteem. It was great for making me fit. You know, Kai's in middle school. He's at that age where for all boys it's really hard socially and just, you know, all that stuff. So he wanted something that could get him fit and help his self-esteem. So we found a kickboxing club, but I wanted more of a traditional like boxing. So we found him a great club. It's run by an Australian trainer who's a former pro boxer himself. And he's been training my son. Kai goes several days a week and trains, and he really likes it. But talking to the coach, and he was just explaining how much core workout, say, Kai does just when he's training, just with obviously working on the bags, the mitt work, but when he's doing his footwork and just all of his slipping and ducking and all that, it's all core movements. But his coach said to me, because I was just asking him, like, hey, for myself, can you give me some advice? What do you recommend for core? And he was just like, planks. You want to make your core strong, you want to make your abs strong, planks. So on top of ab stuff, I also do planks now. I suck at them. I mean, like, I can do them, but not for very long. But you know, it's a journey. I really let myself go over the last 10 years. Really let myself go physically, and it's only in the last year I've, trying to reverse that. Yeah, all right, got a curious cat who's a bit too curious watching me, so I'm just turning the camera away from him. Look at these e-bikes, by the way, guys. They're like double, triple parked. How would you get your bike out? Oh, okay, murderous. I don't like the word murderous when it comes to working out. But I'm doing I'm doing a lot of lifting. I'm doing also like healthy doses of kind of strongman type exercises. A little bit of the kind of untraditional carrying, picking up things, moving things. So it's fun. It's great watching yourself change in a healthy way. Also, for those who follow me at my content in years ago, in the past, would often sometimes see like videos of beer and stuff like this. I don't drink anymore too. So that's an important part of kind of getting healthy and stuff too. I don't drink alcohol. I haven't in more than a year, and that's been great too. I sleep better, feel better, doing better. all the motivation. I teach better, sharper mind, doing university courses from time to time. Yeah, all that stuff. All right, but enough about that. Let's keep going and checking things out. So, this is in the last year. It's becoming, I think, mandatory for people who have e-bikes to register them, to get license plates. In the past, that wasn't necessary. You don't need a license to drive one of these. You don't need a license to drive one of these. I have one. But now you do need to have them registered. So initially when you do register it, you need the receipt for it, and you need your ID as a foreigner. You just need like your passport, your address, all that stuff. And you'll get like this temporary sticker right here, a temporary registration sticker. And eventually you can get yourself a license plate. Yeah, so there you go. That's a thing that's happening. I haven't done it to mine because I'm leaving in a few weeks. So I figure, what's the point? I'm going to be selling my bike to a colleague just for a pittance. I mean, it's an old bike, just really cheaply selling it to her. But she'll probably be here for a few more years. I'm sure she'll want to register it. So I think if I register it under my name and then I sell it to her, it's going to be a bit of a complex nightmare. It's easier if I just sell it to her, a little bit of cash, and then I give her the receipts and everything from when I bought it. So when she registered, it'll be just much easier. All right, here we go, guys. Some Western amenities across the street. There is McDonald's and a Family Mart right there. Family Mart, Japanese convenience store. They're not bad. They're not bad here. They're becoming more prevalent. They're not bad. They don't compare with China. I mean, with Japan, of course. But beggars can't be choosers. The McDonald's here, McDonald's, standard. They're not bad. I mean, McDonald's isn't good anywhere. My kids love. Oh, there's a Domino's. Right there. There's a Domino's pizza. Here we go. So lots of places here. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up simply because I need to go to the washroom, guys. I got to find one of those around here. There's a big shopping mall over here called Raffles Mall. Oh, let's zip it up this way. And those are some apartments above it. But this area is called Raffles Mall down here. This area, Raffles Mall. Yeah. So I'm going to go there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Those who have watched live and those who will be watching later on, I really appreciate it. Go check out my podcast, the Just Asia podcast. Got 9 episodes up so far. Episode 10 will be coming. Yeah, gotta always get a drink. Exactly, I'm thirsty. But as you know, that the days of alcoholic drinks are long behind me, so I won't be one of those. Something good though, I don't know what. I'll see you in the Family Mart. I got get rid of liquid and bring liquids in. Okay, well, enough of that. But I'm gonna be doing a lot of these live streams, by the way, when I'm in Japan. I'll be in Japan in 7 weeks from now. You guys are gonna love it. I'm gonna have one of those unlimited pocket Wi-Fis with me. I was looking at the eSIM card, idea. But the fact that I produce so much content and I upload and live stream a lot, I'm just going to get the pocket Wi-Fi with unlimited data. And I think that's going to be the best way to do things. And so going to do that. You guys are going to love it. I'll be live streaming from Japan. And then once I get to Malaysia, I'll be live streaming from there too and creating a lot of content. Check out my podcast. There's a few episodes. Episode 8 and 9 are just behind this video. They're here on the YouTube channel. Go check it out. If you like it and you want to subscribe on Spotify or iTunes, Apple Podcasts, I hope you do. Please do. Please come over. The more the merrier. It's growing quickly, and I'm happy about that. Please do subscribe. All those links are under the videos. I'm doing well. I had fun live streaming today. In the past, here in China, I've had a lot of weirdos who've come up and tried to stop me from doing this, and it's made it not fun. But today it's great. So take care, folks. And I hope you're all doing awesome wherever you are. And how do I turn this off? I keep forgetting. There we go.